In this video, we are going to be talking about the hottest NFT news, some up-and-coming leaks on some of the most hyped projects, as well as some upcoming mints you definitely do not want to miss out on. Now, the first project that we're going to be talking about is going to be Otherside Meta, and as you know, this weekend they are going to be dropping the land sale. So as you know, you got a KYC in order to participate in the land sale, and it's going to begin on April 30th, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Now, we do have some leaks on how the land sale is going to work, and I want to talk to you guys about that. So based on, these are just rumors and people sharing it on Twitter, so it may not be 100% accurate, but last time we had some leaks, they were 100% accurate, so this time, let's see what's going down. So it seems like the Meta RPG, that's what they're calling it, it's going to be made of 200,000 land plots, right, which is going to be quite a bit. The Genesis drop will be 100,000 plots, 30% going to Bored Apes and Mutant Apes, and 70,000 for the public sale, and another 100,000 for a later drop. So I guess they're going to be releasing this over time. Now, it seems like the conservative estimate of how much each land price is going to be 1 Ethereum. I mean, there's 200,000 plots, so that's definitely a lot of Ethereum for sure. I suppose if you do the math, they're trying to make $200 million on the land sale alone, which is absolutely huge. Depending on the land you get, they're going to tease different game characteristic, resources, artifacts, things that you can find within your land. And I did remember reading that somewhere you're going to have to find your coda, which is like that creature NFT that we talked about before. You have to basically get lucky and find them within your land. And there was some kind of rumor that there was like a 10% chance that you would be able to find a coda in your piece of land, but obviously those are rumors, so we'll have to see what the facts are as things progress. But yeah, that's going to be the latest leaks on the other side. And by the way, if you want the latest alpha, you want to talk about NFTs, make sure to join the Parallax Discord, because right now, if you're watching this the moment this video drops, we're actually doing a live AMA where we're going to go through a tier list of some of the top projects. So if you want to join the fun, make sure to join the Parallax Discord right now, or actually join it after you watch this video. So the next topic I want to talk about is going to be some up and coming trends that I've been noticing, and this is going to be the NFT tool meta, meaning there are a lot of companies out right now, or they're starting right now, and they're creating NFT tools or software to help you buy, sell, and trade NFTs. So one of the examples that we talked about in the past, it was Alpha Shark, where essentially it's a tool for you to like look at NFT data, as well as sniping tools and buying NFTs directly from the market on Opensea and things like that. And as you can see, they created like a 3D PFP for a tool. And this is interesting because before Web3, it's like when you create a software, it's very transactional, you just sell it, but now it's like you can sell it past, you can create graphics on it, and it's like you can create themes like Alpha Shark, right? As Alpha Shark enters the space, you know, IC Tools has been around for a while, Nonsen has been for a while, and we're going to see more and more companies basically come into the space. Now, what I see happening is that all these tools, what they're essentially doing is that they are looking at the features that are most popular for these other tools, and they're kind of taking a lot of inspiration from what those tools do and combining it all together. And their pitch is like, hey guys, we do everything all your other tools do, except we're all in one place. Buy my lifetime pass because it's going to be an NFT. So an example of that would be like Trade Sniper, which is a project that we recently gave whitelist for on Twitter and our Discord, in the Parallax Discord. I believe the whitelist is already over, but I just want to talk about it real quick. You know, these are going to be tools. This is going to be a 0.2 ETH mint public sale coming up, and then they're trying to say like, hey, these are the things that we offer, right? I'm not saying you should or shouldn't buy this. I'm just saying that NFT tools are becoming more and more popular. I saw this other one that people were sharing in the Parallax Discord called Flippr, where they're like, if you compare Flippr to IC Tools and Alpha Sharks, we do all these things and they don't do these things. So it's like all these people are just like copying each other's features and then adding on top. What happens is that these other tools that don't do these things, they're basically forced to copy the other person's features so that they can remain competitive, right? This kind of software is really competitive because they're all competing against for the same market, but we can see that more and more tools are better, which is better for the market. It's better for people like you and I who want to just use the cheapest tool that can do everything, right? You know, in the end, somebody's going to win. Somebody is going to become the Salesforce of like NFT trading or whatever, right? It's definitely an interesting play if you want to buy and sell into alpha tools. Now, the next project that we are going to be talking about is going to be AV Yacht Club. Now, this is going to be a little bit different from what I usually talk about. This is going to be safe for work, but it gets a little weird, so just a heads up. AV Yacht Club is essentially a NFT project specifically designed for the adult video, I think, Japanese market. Okay, so as you can see over here, these characters are quite interesting, right? Why do I want to talk about this? Well, this project actually came out a while ago. They came out with a set of 10,000. The floor right now is 0.1, and if you kind of look at the average floor price, it decreased quite a bit. It's going from 0.6 ETH to 0.1 ETH, so you know, it's definitely picking up traction, especially because every AVYC NFT can claim a VX. So why is this interesting? Well, if we look about the NFT markets, right, and we just look at NFT as technology overall, there's going to be so many different niches that that utilize this technology, right? We have like Azuki going for the metaverse play. We have like Alpha Shark going for software. These are both NFTs. And then all the different categories and subcategories that you would find on Reddit, each community can create their own NFT and create a thriving market within that community. So I'm not saying that this is like the next best thing, right? I'm just saying that certain niches that are like underdeveloped or like people aren't really wanting to develop NFTs in that space, like the AV industry, there's potential there, right? And so for the AV Yacht Club, obviously they're dropping the VX model over here, which surprisingly, they bought a bunch of land in a sandbox. So it looks like they bought their sandbox land next to Snoop Dogg's land. And it's very interesting because like Sandbox, from my understanding, is supposed to be a very family friendly kind of place where there's like all these big brands over here. And then you have like AV Wonderland over here. So it's interesting that they would kind of put that together. Within like the sandbox, I'm guessing there's not going to be adult content, but it kind of has those themes. You know, of course, they're going to have a token and like a whole ecosystem and things like that. And some kind of club where you're going to be able to like talk to people who do this kind of things, like real life, like adult actresses. So it's interesting. You know, it's not really like, I'm not saying it like it's my thing, but then I'm, you know, scrolling down on their Twitter page and it seems like the 9gag CEO of, you know, Meme Land, which is a hot project coming up, he seems like he's someone who's very bullish on this project. And we have this other guy, Kangs. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So if you look at the Meme Land website, you know, Kang is also an advisor of Meme Land, right? It seems like these guys are also promoting this project as well. I'm sure there's some way somehow involved. It's interesting. Yeah, does it have legs? Maybe. You know, I don't think there's a lot of competition for this market, so it could be something interesting, but I just wanted to put it out there in case you were interested. In other news, as you know, Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter, and then there was actually some tweets by Jack Dorsey basically saying that he supports Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. Now, why that's interesting is because it seems like for Jack, which is the CEO of Twitter, they always wanted to make Twitter a place where it's trusted, there's no like fake news, it's inclusive, like all in one kind of place. But the challenges with that is when Twitter is a public company, because it needs to like raise money and like they need to sell equity to the public market, like Wall Street kind of owns Twitter, right? And the problem with that is they need revenue, and because revenue justifies whether or not a business is successful. And sometimes when you capture revenue or more revenue from advertisers, it doesn't make your platform as transparent as possible because you're like running a bunch of ads, right? So Jack's basically saying like Twitter as a company has always been my sole issue and biggest regret. It's been owned by Wall Street and the ad model, right? Because advertising kind of ruins everything in a sense. So my guess is that if Elon Musk is able to like change Twitter in a way where there's less advertisements, less people like pushing narratives down your throat, and people are just like able to freely speak about what they want without being censored. And it seems like Twitter is on board with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. You know, it's very interesting to see because a lot of people are like, oh, but if one person buys Twitter, then doesn't that person have too much control? And that's absolutely true. That could be a thing, but it seems like the board is supporting it. And so let's see what happens in the future. In other news, it seems like the Azuki Bobu farmer is on its way back into space. So as the time of this recording, there's a live stream going on and the rocket is about to launch. So by the time you've seen this, probably, you know, the Bobu farmer is probably in space, right? And so, you know, it's pretty interesting that they delayed it and then now they're actually making it happen. And, you know, it's just one random fact. Just yesterday, you know, hanging out in the Parallax Discord, there was one guy who, you know, gifted me a Bobu farmer because I guess he liked my content and he feels like it's helping a lot of people. So now I'm part of the Bobu gang. Yeah, Bobu's to the moon, going to space. Now in other news, seems like CloneX and Takashi Murakami has been building up the hype. They made this interesting piece of art for some of the core founders of RTFKT Studios, as well as Takashi Murakami. So it is pretty sick overall. Like, I mean, there's nothing really to this. It's not like it adds anything to your NFT. It's just cool that they would do this. And like, it looks beautiful. You know, it looks like something that could go in a museum one day. And also, if you ever tracked Takashi Murakami's wallet, it seems like he's buying a bunch of CloneXs, like a lot of rare ones. So it's really interesting that one of the project creators, right, who had such a big impact in making this project at these prices for hundreds of thousands of dollars, like they are buying their own supply, which is kind of bullish because it's like if they're confident enough to buy their own supply like this late in the game when the price has already risen to like ridiculous prices, then I think it builds a lot of confidence in people moving forward, right? And it's like Nike, so it's like in a way it's not like a safe bet. NFTs are always risky, but then it gives you a lot more confidence that this project is here to stay. And yeah, you know, I'm a big supporter of Takashi Murakami. So if you don't have the budget to buy a CloneX, the next best thing if you love Takashi Murakami is going to be the Murakami flower seed, which is going to be 6.34 Ethereum. There's not a lot of like information on how the seed works, whether you have to like plant it, water it, or are there going to be different mechanics, but you bet that this is, you know, in a sense high-end art and it's Takashi Murakami's like solo first NFT project. So I would say like this would be an interesting purchase if you had the budget for it and you like Takashi Murakami, because who knows, like, this may not get cheaper moving forward, right? And especially when right now there's not like a lot of news on how this seed is going to work. When there is news and if people think they're going to get airdrop stuff, and I feel like he's been like surprising a lot of people, you know, since he started in NFTs, I think this could be a good thing at you know, 5 to 7 Ethereum, right? Okay, so the next project we're going to talk about, and we did talk about this before in the past, is going to be Ragnarok. They did update their website to give more information on what they're looking to do. So this is going to be a mint for anyone who is interested in things that haven't minted yet. Essentially, from what I can tell from this roadmap, they are building an MMORPG. And like I always say before, anybody who promises an MMORPG, understand that it will probably take them years to make, because it is one of the most difficult type of games to make, especially when you're incorporating NFTs into it and building an entire economy. So if you do invest in this project, understand that probably there's not going to be a lot of gameplay for a very long time. Maybe they might release like little phases of it, like little demos, little things you can do here and there, but like in terms of like a fully fleshed out MMORPG, just know it's going to take a long time. And there is a little demo of it where you can walk around town, but there's nothing you can do on that demo itself. You can't fight anything, you're literally just walking around, and that demo has existed for months, so not too much updates over there. But the mint is going to be happening on April 7th GMT. So that's actually today, so maybe when you watch this video it's already minting. And when you're looking at the mint prices itself, okay, so it's going to be extended over a few days. There's going to be a public sale. Of course, people always do a public sale because in the beginning, because they want to see like the value of their NFT, and they're trying to see like how much money they can get people to pay for this, right? Because if they did a fixed price up front, then they're going to be like, oh, well, what if we're losing out on money? So that's why they're doing a Dutch auction where every 7 minutes they're going to be dropping 2.5%. I'm not sure if they're going to refund people who buy at the top. Yeah, I'm trying to find if they do a refund. I don't see it. The only refund I see is refunding gas. It is a fair Dutch auction where you're going to be airdropped the difference in the price, so that's good. So they're going to be a public sale after that. Then the pill sale, so I guess people who hold a certain NFT can mint. And then the final sale over here, which is going to be another public sale. From what I can tell, there's going to be a market for this, but understand that anybody who's building a game, yes, it's, you know, games are very difficult to do. And if someone promises an MMORPG, which right here, they're saying that's what they're promising, it's going to take years. So is it going to be a long-term play? Possibly, but just understand if you buy it, you're going to have to hold it for a long time and nothing may happen. And I'm not sure if there's going to be enough volume and hype when this launches, because they're going to be launching at the same time as other sides. And I feel like that's kind of sucking up all the liquidity, right? And depending on liquidity, it really determines the floor price, right? Like we've seen like Imaginary Ones, which is, you know, a hype project that supported this channel before with Wireless Opportunities. You know, a lot of people were like, oh my God, this is hype. Everybody wants Imaginary Ones. And then, you know, the floor price is 1.29, which is actually still pretty good for a 0.2 mint, right? So that's like, you're already like 5xing your money, or 6xing if you sell it now, if you mint it, right? So that's still fairly good, but understand like this is a very hype project that has been building for months and months. So for Ragnarok, I feel like they don't have the same level of hype. And so, you know, something to watch out for, especially when you're minting, especially in public sale, because you always want to watch volume to see if, you know, this is something you can actually make profit on. I'm not saying it's a good or bad project. I'm just saying that there's a lot of competition going on for liquidity. And so with that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I'm going to be dropping the latest alpha, and make sure to join the Parallax Discord, where you can learn more about our up and coming NFT. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.